Before I go to the business of the day, I noticed I've been growing gradually. People don't follow, like, and share as much I would have loved to. Is it because I don't post boobs and bum bum? Mm-hmm. I don't change my ways, man. You guys need to change your ways. Start liking, sharing my videos. Follow me, Soccer Chef Fino. Let's go to the business of the day. Liam Rosenoir, Chelsea coach. Alpha. Well, so far so good. Let's talk about the background. When we got him, people were like, we're replacing Maresca with inexperienced coach, and I'm like, really? Where is that coming from? You know, to the best of my knowledge, when we got Maresca, he was just a coach that got Leicester in the championship promoted to the division one, to the premiership. You know, if you had stayed that season with Leicester, maybe you would have gotten them relegated back just like company. That doesn't mean he's not a good coach. That was when we got him. But when we got Liam Rose, he has already coached All City. He has already coached another club before he went to France, and he has played big in the League One. He has played with PSG. He has played with Olympic Marseille. He has played with some top teams. So I can boldly tell you that when we got Liam Rose, it was far more experienced than when we got Maresca. Yeah, the result have been okay, 7 wins and nine, and the two losses he had were against Arsenal, who we all know they are the best team and the most informed team in the whole of in the whole of Europe and probably in the world. And that's a team that is topping the EPL, that is topping the Champions League. They're in the final of the Carabao Cup. They're still in the FA Cup. What do you expect? No, you can't just beat them. No, they've not been exposed so far this season, and that was a kind of a like 5 year walk and a progress team. So you can exempt that. Those two losses were just kind of one goal margin, which is okay by me. And our next three games, I think we are playing Leeds City, followed by Hull, followed by another team, then followed by Arsenal. So in 12 games, we might have suffered like three defeats to Arsenal, and it's only Arsenal that has won Liam Rosen so far. So I believe he has done good. He has managed those low blocks teams very well, defeating them. The low blocks team Muno Maresca had issues with, and I love the way he presses. Maresca, we've seen kind of pattern from Maresca where in the first half Chelsea plays so well, the opposition could hardly breathe. And during that first half, we run them down, we have chances, open chances, but we don't take them. But in the second half, we come out kind of weak or lethargic, and we might even end up losing those games because of poor second half. We've wasted all our energy in the first half. But with Liam Rosenow, no. I have not seen that manager bounce that okay, a new gaffer is in town, everybody wanna do one or two things just to impress. No, I've not seen that intensity. But what I've seen is kind of a moderate performance over 90 minutes, not very pacey first half and lethargic second half. It's been kind of a moderate on the same level of frequency throughout, which is okay. So the low block teams are giving them chance to play as well. By giving them chance to play, they are exposing their back, and we are feeding onto that, which is okay by to me. And I think he understands the game and probably the EPL more than Maresca. So he has won all manner of games, and you just have to give the guy his carb. So the result has been good. The formation, I think his formation has been simple. You just kept it simple. Use player where they most fit. Maresca was talking about he needed another new midfielders, but the midfielders you have, what are you doing with them? You have Santos, but you rather use Reece James in the midfield. I'm saying whatever Reece James is contributing in the midfield, he can also contribute from the right wing, for the right back which he plays. But yeah, all kudos to Maresca. We've seen Reece James excel so well in that midfield role. But the issue is you still have another midfield who could develop to the Gimares of this world, who could develop to the Casemiros of this world on the bench, and you just have to use him. You have to develop him. This guy is coming. I'm talking about Santos. This guy is coming from a good season from the League One. You just have to use him. So I faulted Maresca for that. And you could see Liam has been playing players where the best fit. Most times he has played James at right back, not of too complicating things. And and I think one thing he did yesterday that was kind of different was that he brought back Kupama to to attacking those spaces in the box. It used to be Enzo Fernandez probably because Palmer has been injured for so long or is not fully fit. But man, Palmer attacked the channels yesterday and you saw the goal. I need more of that. I need more of that. The greatest beneficiary of Enzo Maresca's Chelsea team of formation was Enzo Fernandez. You remember when we got Enzo Fernandez, we were like, okay, what is this guy really good at? Yeah, passes, yeah, but it wasn't scoring. It wasn't not really assisting that much. It wasn't that defensive. It was just like it was just there. And because of the price tag, we wanted so much from him. Then boom came Maresca, and he has really Enzo Fernandez has really kind of elevated his offensive output, which is okay by Chelsea. And this season he's having one of his best season and he's clocking at the double figures, which is okay. So I think Liam Rosenoir has just kept things simple, refer back to the basics, refer back to the basics, and but yet it still hasn't gotten the best out of the wingers. And most time you see Liam is not using a double pivot. No, he's using Casido and using Santos because he understands Santos. He has played with Santos in the past and he understands what quality the guy can give. And I think that has given the team more balance. We are scoring more goals. We are considering less goals. And is the issue of when those times you used to have Casido and Enzo, and when Enzo overlaps, you're leaving only Casido to bear the weight of the weight of everything. But now when Enzo overlaps or stays up front, you have Santos who Casido will be confident that okay, even if I mess up, I have to have someone who could clean up a mess, and I think that has really helped Chelsea because it has brought stability into the team. Maresca's ongoing is a free transfer. I think I've spoken about that also. You said you want defenders, but man, you still have like three defenders. You still had Achimpong, you had Sa, you had Anselmino, you loaned out, and you say you want another defender. And I'm like, whoa, okay. What happened to those one you had in the past? What happened to Disaster? The guy was relegated to the bench. Sorry, to the to the bomb squad. What happened to Renato Viga? You were not using the guy in his position, and you let believing Vega is a good player. And left. So what are you saying? You need defenders? It's not really about numbers, it's about adding quality to the team. And if he's not going to add quality to the team, or if you're not going to use them, if Chelsea had signed that defender in the summer when Maresca was requesting it, then probably Archenborg would have gone to oblivion. You wouldn't have seen him at all. You have Archipong who played few games, like the games against Liverpool, and won, and the guy was terrific. Why don't you give more confidence to him? You had Heto, and you still want another defender. So I fought Maresca for that. You've been given arsenals in the past and you didn't use them. You rather have the A team and the B team. Later the B team they grow frustrated, they can't enter the A team and they all become bad. Someone like Nkuku, someone like Jar Felix, someone like Tyreek George. Those guys have had great performance in the past that they just needed to build on their performance. But Maresca being Maresca, it just puts them aside and you keep one of the clubs to keep spending money. So I think Maresca had a lot of failed transfers, which I'm not supporting. And this season, it was still under Maresca, the Gatins. I don't know why we got Gatins. I don't know why we got Ganacho. Yeah, Ganacho, I could see a prospect of someone developing to be a world class player, but Gittins for 60 million pounds. This guy wasn't even playing regularly at Dortmund. It wasn't the first choice. I think Yemi is the first choice, and we got him for 60 million pounds. What do you expect? You expect, And if you're talking about okay, you want to develop them for a while before you sell them, why did you have to pay 60 million? So for a player you've already paid 60 million for, how much do you expect to sell Gittins? 80? 70? No, 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 no. I think that money was too much. Ganacho, maybe Garnacho is a gamble, but Gittins, that was stupidity. That's money laundering. So press conference, Liam Rosenoir, no. I think Liam Rosenoir has also wowed fans at the Chelsea family with his press conference. You could see his panache, you could see his style, you could see his skills when it comes about the oratory aspect of it. He delivers his press conference, it gives you those lines. It reminds you of a light Jose Murillo. But I know, and I really love this press conference. He's full of confidence. And he knows the facts, and he has acknowledged that, what, I'm privileged and opportunity to be here. A lot of people are looking for this job, and being one of the few English, if not the only English coach in a top league, I think he just needs to be supported. There used to be the what we were hearing before he came. There was gonna be a protest, and there was actually a protest, but no one is talking about the protest again. What happened to the protest, guys? Has it really died down? You know what I'm saying? So this game is result oriented. It's been getting the results, 7 wins in nine, and people felt, what, let's just calm down, let's just give this guy a chance, and probably that's just what we need before another massive rebuild in the summer. So he has come, he has studied the ship, he's doing the basics and the press conference. Maresca was like, his press conference. Obviously, English was his first language, but I've said that many times. Kopama is an intelligent player. I've said that many times. This James, is our captain. I've said that many times. Sanchez is a goalkeeper. I've said that many. No. But this guy, he brings this thing to, which I believe is improving Chelsea's image, And Maresca, there were similar patterns between last season and this season before Maresca got sacked. Last season we were doing so well in our competitions. Then we played Ipswich, and he rested most of his first team using the likes of Felix, Magoe, and Nkunku, and we got battered. I think Liam Dyer scored one goal, and this Hutchinson scored the second goal, and we lost. It was around early December or so, and for like 2 months, we didn't get ourselves. We were just drawing, losing, drawing, losing. That also culminated with the injuries to Jackson. You get it? So the bad run continued for like 2 months, and it happened again this season. We were doing so well. Then we had a loss to a newly promoted side, which I can't remember right now. And it's a kind of a similar pattern. We were just drawing, struggling until just decided to sack him. And also, this just comes to my notice. That was the same thing he did in Leicester. No, in Leicester, they were kind of having the best run, then suddenly they collapsed and they had to struggle to 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 win the championship, what they already had in the grasp. So that is Maresca for you. And pardon me, I'm not saying Maresca better than Liam Rosenoir. What I'm saying is that I got fed up of Maresca. I kept overthinking things, doing more than he could, and we needed a change. We just needed that change, because Maresca wasn't in the game no more. There was this rumor he was caught in Manchester City. I won't blame him for that. But he just wasn't in the game no more, and he was taking unnecessary risk. So we needed a change. So I think I've kind of addressed the Liam Rosenoir issue. If you feel I've hit the top notch, give me some likes, follow, and you can share my content. That's it, guys. Soccer Sheriffino.